Hello folks, it's Simon and Mabel again, over in Sheephouse Wood today, and we've just seen four big roe deer together, all of a similar size, big. So whether there were four young males, because I know the males do hang about together, or whether they were just a small group of females with a male, a younger male. And then we saw them down to our left. Mabel didn't pick up on them, and then as we were walking along they cut across the track about 100 yards in front of us in a line. She caught sight of them there and then followed them, so I watched her and then I called her back, and she did come back to me actually, much too quick, but Mabel is extremely quick, so I think she possibly could have caught up with them, but I think deer of that size just wouldn't have you know, unless they were ill, unless they were injured. So yeah, that was lovely. So that's 5 deer I've seen over here, one on its own, a young male, and then 4 within 100-150 yards of me. So there are signs down on the main road at the bottom, deer signs, so obviously it's quite a wooded area. So that's lovely to see. And they are the biggest land mammal in the UK, deer, at the moment that we have. Well, the red deer are. The roe deer, I think, are probably the second. So that was really nice. So yeah, we're over in Sheephouse again. Mabel's fine. She's about 7.5 months now. Just crept over 7 months, so she's been fine. I've got her back the Purina puppy food this morning that she's on until 1 year old. I've got a bag of that this morning. Pets at Home, it was 31 instead of about 44, so it's quite an expensive food for 14 kilograms, but it wasn't the large breed that we've had before, so you do have to use a little bit more of it to make sure she's getting obviously the right amount. With the large breed it was slightly less, higher calorie. Excuse me. But I do like it. I don't want to scrimp on costs. We were looking at Baker's the other day, and Tesco's own brand for full-size adult dog, and that was considerably cheaper. And I've used Baker's before with my Labrador for years, and he was fine on that. He seemed fine. But I know Vizslas can have problems with the skin. This has got probiotic in it, and it's quite good for issues around immunity. But we'll see. Once she gets to 1, we may wean her onto something slightly different and a little bit cheaper, but obviously want her health to stay good as well. Lovely day today. I think we're about the 10th of February 2022. After those big storms we've just had, looks like we're going to have a settled few days. February is always an unusual month weather-wise. It can feel like spring's on the way, and it often does. There's loads of birds singing today. The sun's popping through, and then looking at the 10-day forecast, I think we're back into rain come the weekend, so another 2 or 3 days of this. My Aylesbury and Cherry Valley ducks in the garden are thriving. They seem to be doing fine. I just got some more layers pellet for them yesterday, and that's about, for a 14 kilogram bag, that's about £9 for layers pellets. And then my rabbits, I've got 3 at the moment: Continental Giant male and a male and female miniature lop. And they're on a coarse rabbit mix, and that was about £9 for a 14 kilogram bag. But we go to a feed merchant in Penistone, here in South Yorkshire, and they're very good. You can often get good deals. You can get split bags as well sometimes, split broken bags for a cheaper price, often 25% off. Bit of a health update as well. I'm going to phone later on about my blood results from last week. I've got to wait probably another week to find out what my chest x-ray showed. Fell asleep again yesterday after being out for a walk in the morning, did a few jobs. Usual things, nothing heavy, and a dog walk. And it wasn't a particularly long dog walk either. And then come 1, 2 o'clock, I can't stay awake. So something isn't right. I rechecked my blood sugars yesterday, and they were normal. They were in normal limits. So doesn't look to be an issue around that. So we'll have to see. I just still think it's post-COVID. My partner Betsy, she's had it, and she's absolutely floored as well at the moment. Just tired all the time. Really, really tired. And I was talking to a neighbour recently, and she had it last year, about a year ago, and it took her 6 months to fully recover from it. So this long COVID does seem to be a thing, especially in the older person. People over 50 does seem to be an issue. So so we're coming back down to the old railway line. Just talking to another old boy as well who's lived around here all his life by the sounds of things. Well, say all his life, he got a Brummie accent. West Brom, I think, West Brom football hat on. So he, yeah, been around here a few years. But he said he's never seen a deer. Tell him about the one I'd seen. So it is quite rare down here unless you're regularly in woods to see them, I believe. But yeah, I've been very fortunate to see 5 within the space of a fortnight. Come on, mate. So that's Underbank Reservoir. We're down to the A616, the Manchester Road. And we're going to go this way today. I'm going to push myself a little bit. I feel fine on the flat, but I think because I got that fitness from the summer, I think in terms of this sort of exercise, I'm okay with. Yesterday I really had to drag myself out of the house to even do anything, but this morning, as much as I didn't want to get up, there's no real energy there in the morning, even though I'd slept very well. Once I'm up and going and doing things, not too bad today, but yesterday was a struggle. Felt very tired. A busy road this morning. So a little update on all my recent downloads onto YouTube. I put some YouTube shorts on. There's a very good one, about 30 seconds long, when we had the goats from the neighbour's property break into to our garden, and Betsy trying to get them out of the garden. It's very funny, it's worth a watch. But the biggest one I put on was a 30-second clip of Jemima, our hand-reared Aylesbury duck, incubated duck in the pond, about 30 seconds. That's had 215 views as a short, so I think that's grand. I was quite pleased about that, but my walking videos just aren't getting picked up. But I'll keep putting them on for posterity, and it's good experience as well. Film me on the video inside because I like doing this. Come on then, mate. So touching on the health again, Mabel. Yeah, very important I think when you have these viruses. Now I've had plenty over the years. I've got an immune system problem and a breathing problem. So what I tend to do, what I've tended to do over the years is try and get some good stretching in. A lot of people talk about yoga, but you can just stretch your muscles. It's grand yoga, but stretching arm circles, chest bends, just to keep your body supple and from stiffening up, because naturally all you want to do post-viral is just generally eat and sit about and sleep. And obviously longer term it's not going to do your circulation, your bones much good, and all your ligaments and tendons, so they do need a workout, they do need a stretch. Walking's okay, it's grand for you, keep your lungs going and your heart beating and get that blood pumping round, obviously, but you do need to stretch out your body to keep it from really seizing up. And over the years I think I've had so many infections because of my immune problems. I don't have a spleen. I ran out into the road when I was about 6 and lost my spleen in that car accident, so I got hit by a car. So yeah, so I've always had issues around infection but I also have regular injections, so very lucky to be able to be injected against quite a number of different things to keep me. And there are a few things I have that other people wouldn't be recommended, such as pneumonia, vaccines every 5 years if you've got an autoimmune problem, or just a general weakened immune system rather. So yeah, it is important to keep yourself going. Come on! Definitely feel it though in my shoulders, and I've done some arm circling this morning and stretching. I've not done any weights today. I did some yesterday. I've got some dumbbells, just some light, you know, they're okay. I don't exactly know what sure they're, but they're enough for me. And remembering that your shoulder joints, there's 7 points of axis in your shoulder joints, so you do need to work them in different ranges of motion to keep them supple. So it is important to find out a few, not just your general tricep extensions and your bicep curls, the usual ones that everybody does, but your flies, your side bends, your bent over rows. There's quite a number that you can do, but there's loads of apps out there to follow, really good. But I can feel the stiffness because obviously when I was working in landscaping and gardening, didn't have a great deal of stiffness unless I'd had a very heavy day, but I can feel it now because my body's got weaker.